this video, we're going to be solving an order of operations problem. Now, order of operations is how we know the order in which we're supposed to approach a mathematical problem, okay? So it's literally the order of how we do the operations in a problem. Okay, now you may have heard of PEDMAS or PEMDAS or BODMAS. I'm going to use BEDMAS. They all mean the same thing though. All these words do is remind us of the order of operations, okay? So first thing in math, we always approach problems from the left to the right, okay? So we're moving from left to right. But it's not as simple as that. We also have to take into account that first, we need to look for B, brackets or parentheses. Second, we need to look for E, which is exponents. And then we need to look for D and M, which is division and multiplication. We deal with those at the same time, but moving from left to right. And finally, we look towards addition and subtractions. Same thing, deal with it at the same time, moving from left to right. Okay. That was a whole bunch to remember, but we write BEDMAS down or whatever you like to use. I like to write it down so I can refer back to it while I solve my problem. Okay? So this is tricky. Look at this problem. Not only do we have brackets, but we have two sets. We have one set inside another set. Okay. So with math, we need to think about this for a second. Should we deal with the outer bracket first or the inner bracket? Well, we need to deal with that inner bracket first, okay? That's the way it works in math. So I'm just going to start recopying the question until I get to my inner bracket, and then we're going to solve it. So I've got a 20, and that is divided by a bracket, and then we have 4, and then we have a minus. So I'm going to deal with what the operation inside the square brackets, but I'm not going to drop the square bracket right away, okay? Because I need to do another step to get the information from inside the square bracket out of it, okay? So what operation is going on inside my square bracket? I've got a 10 minus 8. I only have one operation in there, so I can just perform that operation, okay? I don't have to look for any other type of order because there's only one thing going on. So we have 10 minus 8, and that equals 2. And I'm going to close my bracket and I'm going to make sure to copy my other bracket too. Okay, so now my next step is going to be to drop this square bracket. Okay, I need to deal with it so I can get rid of the square bracket so that I can move on to dealing with what's inside the round brackets. Okay, so it's just step by step. So here we go. I'm just going to start recopying again. I've got my 20. That's divided by my round bracket. And I have my 4. Now, in order to get rid of these square brackets, I need to multiply what's inside them, which in this case is the 2, by what's directly in front of the square bracket. Okay, so if there was a number here, well, we'd deal with that, but there is none. But there is a sign. Okay, so I have a negative, and I need to multiply this by what I have inside, which is a positive 2. So whenever I have a negative multiplied by a positive, or a positive multiplied by a negative, my answer will be negative. Okay, so negative times positive 2 is negative 2. Close bracket. Okay, now we're still dealing with the brackets. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to copy down my 20 and my division again. All right, now I want to deal with what's going on inside this bracket. I've got a 4 minus 2, so that's simply 2. And I'm going to just put it still in the brackets for now. Now, the reason I left the brackets there was I just wanted to double check. Remember up here, I had a sign, I had a negative in front that I needed to multiply. So I just wanted to double check, make sure, do I have anything in front of this bracket? Do I have a number or a sign? I don't, right? I've got this 20 divided by whatever's inside my bracket, but I don't have a negative or a positive right here. So what I can do is I can go ahead and drop these brackets, okay? So it's just 20 divided by 2. Okay, now, we did all that work with the B, with the brackets. Now, we come to E, which is exponents. We don't have any exponents, so we don't have to worry about that. And honestly, we only have one operation, so we know what we need to do. We need to do 20 divided by 2. However, the next thing in BEDMAS is division and multiplication, and that's what we have, all right? So we're just going to take care of that. 20 divided by 2 is just 10. And that's our answer. Now, we never got to addition and subtraction outside of our brackets, and that's okay, right? We follow the order that Bedmas tells us, and what you'll notice is obviously inside the brackets, you might have some operations happening, okay? So when there are operations inside the brackets, in our case, we just had a single operation in each bracket. But if we had multiple operations inside a bracket, we would, once again, look at Bedmas and follow that order, okay? So we followed Bedmas and we ended up with an answer of 10. If you would like to learn how to quickly study for your GED exam online and get a new resume, then visit testprepskills.com.